Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, salutations to Akim, pushing his truth. The title today is going to be Ezekiel 17, verses 1 through 6. And we'll start from the top. Verse 1, it says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, put forth a riddle and speak a parable unto the house of Israel." So, at that time, he was a parable. And I just basically make it very plain that the prophets didn't know what we know now. According to Daniel chapter 12 and 4, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." So the prophets wrote about these things, but they didn't know what we know. We know more than what the prophets know now, basically, because the knowledge has been increased in the latter days. So that's why it was a parable back then, a riddle. Okay, so this is verse 3, and say, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, a great eagle with great wings, long winged." Who is that eagle representing? The eagle is representing Esau, Edom. This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 4. "Though thou exaltest thyself as the eagle," which means that Esau, Edom is profound with this. I don't want to say profound, but very synonymous or well known with this image of the eagle. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. So when did he do this? When did he set his nest amongst the stars? When he started sending up satellites into space. So back then, this was Esau, Edom's statue. And as they continued ruling in different countries, they always brought that eagle with them. All right, this is Mount Seir. This is the cave that they were living in. And then they just continued building like that all the way through Rome and today. So we'll get back to Ezekiel 17 and 3. "Full of feathers, which had diverse colors." Right, and the feathers in diverse colors is the doctrines, the wine, the false ideologies, and basically the American dream, and all these lies that they sell to manipulate and convince you to buy into their ways. "Came into Lebanon and took the highest branch of the cedar," and the cedar represents Israel. He cropped off the top of his young twigs and carried it into the land of traffic. He set it in the city of merchants. The land of traffic, that city of merchants, this is America, basically, where the World Trade Center is, because all people from all over the world come here to trade, to make money. And what are they trading? They trading the work from the cedar, the work from Israel that was built up, because it'll show you in these precepts that the eagle took the cedar from out of its land and put it in another land and profited off of its fruit. So here you have verse 5. "He took also the seed of the land, planted it in a fruitful field. He placed it by great waters and set it as a willow tree. It grew and became spreading vine of low stature, whose branches turned toward him, and roots thereof were under him," which basically shows that the cedar, which became like a bush or a short tree, its branches turned toward the eagle, and its roots were under the eagle. So the eagle still had grip. The eagle was the head. The eagle was in charge, right? "And the roots thereof were under him, so it became a vine and brought forth branches and shot forth sprigs." So that cedar branch, which is Israel, was in subjection to the eagle, which is Edom. Okay. And Edom represents the so-called white people. So-called. And Israel is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. Okay, so this is those merchants. They represent the foreigners, basically. And their leaders buying into the American propaganda. Those merchants, they came to the land of traffic, and they're profiting off of the labor that was made from Jake, basically. Israel is Jake. So this is Revelation chapter 14 and verse 8, because America is that new Babylon. It's a mystery Babylon, the one that John the Revelator was talking about. It said, And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she had made all nations drink of her wine, drink of the wine of her fornication. So that's that feathers and those colors influencing you to do as thou will, be whatever you want to be. American dream, right? This is Revelation 17, verse 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, because Babylon is known as the great whore, the harlot, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So what we gonna go into next is this Habakkuk, and basically what Esau Edom has done is heaped all nations in this place, because Esau Edom is ruling over Babylon. Esau Edom is the nation ruling over the country of Babylon, the kingdom of Babylon. But in that kingdom is a bunch of different nations and tongues and kindreds and people, right? So this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. Neither he keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations and heap it unto him all people. Right. So all these people come over here because they were buying into that doctrine. But the nations, they're gonna be upset, right? It said in that precept I brought out in that Revelations 14:8, it says that that all the nations here drink, and they're gonna be mad because they're gonna find out that these doctrines, these feathers, these diverse colors was a lie. The American dream was a lie. Christianity was a lie. White supremacy was a lie. They're gonna find out that all of these things that was told by these devils were lies. So this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, right? And all the nations that didn't want to participate in these lies and saw through it, like Iraq or Libya, Somalia, Syria, are nations that got bombed by America, nations that got decimated, right? It says that all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. So, all these people that have been spoiled, and the other nations that are finding out that this stuff is a lie that they bought into, okay, they gonna be mad and they gonna be on fire to aim at America too, because they bought into these lies. So this is Habakkuk 2:8, just continuing. Because of men's blood, for the violence of the land and of the city and of all that dwelt therein. So here it is, Esau Edom came over here, took this land from this indigenous people, the so-called Native Americans, and that was rape, rob, murder, and genocide on its own. And then took the southern kingdom, which was Judah major, the three tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and brought them over here as the cedar and put Israel in subjection underneath them. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 9. Woe to him that coveted an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high. So there go that nest on high again, because we brought out in Obadiah, he put his nest in the stars, right? In the Obadiah. So he's a proud man, and he thinks that he has the Lord in the trick bag, but really it's the other way around. The Lord has him in the trick bag, right? So this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 9, continuing, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Verse 12, woe to him that builded a town with blood and established a city by iniquity. And that's exactly how you got America. Blood, destruction. This is a land full of blood, polluted by it. Okay? Rape, robbery, genocide, and captivity. Verse 15, woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and making him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. So now when these nations find out that the American dream was a lie, they're going to be naked, they upset, they bought into, oh man, this false currency, fiat, right, that's not backed by gold, right? They bought into these doctrines that America sold them, and they drunk that wine, that Babylonian wine, the doctrines. Verse 17, for the violence of Lebanon shall cover thee, and the spoil of beasts which made them afraid, because of man's blood, and for the violence of the land of the city, and of all that dwell therein. I'm going to show a couple more pictures and just explain it. because basically what the Ezekiel 17 was going into is that eagle once again, strong grip upon the cedar, strong grip upon the weapons representing military might, force, and power. We get bring this out. Feel free to screenshot any of this stuff. Take advantage of the knowledge while it's still here, because Jake don't have the power. It tells you, and the thing about the merchants is that the other nations came here to profit off of Jake, and what you see with these like Ukrainians coming in, they have jobs lined up, checks, Teslas already, but Jake been here struggling. It say that in the book of Deuteronomy 28 that the stranger amongst you shall come up high and you shall go down low. It was a curse to Israel, man. So, and this is what Esau Edom does. I wanted to bring out something too, because that Lebanon came up twice. I went into the Lebanon. This is Strong's Hebrew 3844. It means whiteness. So here it is. What I perceive from the spirit is that every time you try to do something right, these devils stand as the accuser. They know the truth. This is what, they have the images. We don't have the power. Okay? They have the power. They carrying these things, man. They know the truth. So anytime you try to do it right, they put the dirt in your hands so they can accuse you. Right? They put guns and drugs and alcohol on every corner of your neighborhood to say, look, these guys are gangbangers and terrorists. Anytime when Jake made gangs, the first point of gangs was to protect the community, protect the neighborhood from racist mobs and police. And what Esau Edom did was infiltrate the gangs, take out the leadership, and basically place niggas there. So now that the gangs was once soup kitchens and feeding the kids and protecting the community, turned into a menace and monsters, killing the kids and all of that, man. Anytime you try to do something as close to righteousness or whiteness, which represents pureness, this devil stands in the way to point the finger and say, this is why we have to put you all in prison. You're all bad. But here it is. We supposed to forgive him for what he's been doing for past 500 years of freaking torture. And then he lies about it. This is a picture. It says, a brave snake saving a fish from drowning. This is how the media reports the news these days. So yeah, man, he lies about the whole concept of history because it's his story. He won. He has the power. So he's telling you from his perspective what happened. And we know that's a lie. Esau Edom, okay, he brought you to the land of traffic. And ever since, you've been getting fucked. Okay. Esau Edom, he sets the fire to a building, and then he turns on the cameras and goes to put the fire out and makes it seem like he's the hero. But in reality, he creates the problem and the solution. And he frames Jake to make it look like Jake is wicked. Jake is just off. And don't get me wrong, Jake do be wicked. Jake do be going off. But he frames to make it seem like we all just a bunch of terrorists and gangbangers, when throughout history, we're not the ones that were bombing churches. We're not the ones that were shooting up villages, going into Walmart, shooting up a bunch of people that are unarmed. History show man, history will tell it all. True history. But here it is. This devil, leave it to this devil, man. He'll tell you he didn't do anything wrong. He'll tell you he had to put you in slavery. You were uncivilized in Africa. You were uncivilized in America. You had to have your land taken from you, which is a lie, because it shows you that the Native Americans taught these devils how to live in America. Prior to the Renaissance, these people were taught by the Moors in West Africa. So where's this uncivilized lie coming from? Ever since you've been brought to the land of traffic, you've been getting fucked. You've been getting chewed up, spit out, held back, kept down, lied to and lied on, stood up and let down. As an Israelite, you ought to be pissed off. You ought to be pissed off. Knowing what this Ezekiel 17 represents with these specific verses that was brought out, knowing that the prophecy, man, Ezekiel wrote about this thousands of years ago, and then it happened. You were carried into another land which you were not from. These were prophecies, and it did happen. So with that being said, Lord willing, it was all edifying. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim pushing this truth of sincerity and charity, risking their lives and freedom to do so. Shalom and Abba Babal.